There comes a moment in every person's life when silence is no longer enough, when hesitation no longer serves us, and when the world itself seems to whisper, "We are waiting for you." Not for your perfection, not for your titles, not for what you think you lack, but for your courage. Every great change in history, every shift in humanity began because one person dared to act while others doubted. It was not certainty that guided them, but courage. And right now, the world is waiting for that same courage from you. Every true act of courage begins with a simple but radical choice, the choice to believe in yourself. The truth is, most people don't fail because they aren't talented or gifted. They fail because they never choose themselves. They wait for permission, for validation, for someone else to declare, "You are ready." But life doesn't work that way. You are ready the moment you decide you are. Choosing yourself means stepping away from the role of an observer in your own life and becoming the author. It means no longer measuring your worth against society's expectations or the voices of doubt that echo from your past. Choosing yourself is about looking in the mirror and declaring, "I matter. My dreams matter. My contribution matters." This choice can feel uncomfortable, even selfish at first, because we are conditioned to put everyone else's needs above our own. But there is nothing selfish about honoring the calling placed inside you. When you deny your dreams, you deny the world the unique gifts only you can bring. It won't always be easy. People may resist the new you. Some will criticize, others will distance themselves because your courage exposes their comfort zones. Yet remember, those who misunderstand your courage are simply not ready to choose themselves. And that is not your burden to carry. Every breakthrough in human history began when someone chose themselves, their vision, their voice, their path. The world is not waiting for your hesitation, it is waiting for your decision. When you choose yourself, you ignite the first spark of courage, and that spark has the power to light an entire generation. Fear is the most misunderstood emotion in the human experience. We are taught to see fear as the enemy, as something to be avoided or conquered. But courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to move forward in spite of it. Fear is not a wall blocking your path. It is a guidepost pointing toward the very areas where you are meant to grow. Think about it. Where do you feel the greatest resistance? Where does your heart pound, your palms sweat, your mind whisper excuses? That is often the exact doorway to your freedom. Fear arises not because you are weak, but because you are standing at the edge of expansion. Instead of running from fear, ask it, "What are you here to teach me?" Fear teaches humility by reminding us that we do not control everything. It teaches courage by challenging us to act in uncertainty. And it teaches faith by asking us to trust what cannot yet be seen. When you embrace fear as a teacher, you strip it of its power. You realize that fear is simply energy, raw, unshaped, waiting to be transformed into courage. Every great leader, every innovator, every dreamer has felt fear. The difference is they didn't let it paralyze them. They walked with it, allowing it to sharpen their vision. The world doesn't need more people avoiding their fears. It needs people willing to face them, to lean into them, to learn from them. Because once you move through fear, you find freedom on the other side. And that freedom becomes the foundation of your courage. We often think courage is personal, that it belongs only to us. But the truth is, courage is contagious. The moment you choose to rise, you silently give others permission to do the same. Think of the people who have inspired you most. Chances are, it wasn't their perfection that moved you. It was their courage, their willingness to step out, to speak up, to dare in the face of doubt. Their courage stirred something within you, reminding you of what is possible. This is the ripple effect of bravery. Your single act of courage can inspire a stranger, uplift a community, or awaken a movement. You may not see the impact immediately, but it spreads nonetheless. Every time you speak truth when it's easier to stay silent, every time you follow your dream when fear tells you to quit, you send a message it can be done. The world waits for individuals willing to go first. Because when you go first, you show others that the path exists. You may never know who is watching, but rest assured someone is. Someone is waiting for your courage to awaken their own. So understand this, your courage is never just about you. It is a gift to humanity. By daring to live authentically, you remind others that they too can live authentically. And in that way, your courage becomes a torchlight in the way for those who have forgotten their power. When people think of courage, they imagine grand gestures, revolutions, wars, historic speeches. But most of the courage that changes the world is quiet, humble, and unseen by crowds. It happens in the daily choices you make. Courage is saying no when everyone expects you to say ayes. Courage is leaving a toxic environment even when you don't know where you'll land. Courage is telling the truth about who you are, even when silence feels safer. These moments may seem small, but they create ripples that spread far beyond what you can see. Consider how kindness itself is a form of courage. In a world often hardened by cynicism, it takes bravery to open your heart, to forgive, to love without guarantee. These small acts build bridges where walls once stood. The truth is, you don't need to wait for the big moment to be courageous. Every day presents opportunities. Every day asks, will you live by fear or by courage? Each decision stacks upon the last until your entire life becomes a testament to bravery. The world doesn't only need heroes on stages, it needs everyday people choosing integrity, kindness, and authenticity. And when enough people live that way, the quiet courage of millions becomes the loudest force for change the world has ever seen. Before courage changes the world, it changes you. The greatest shifts happen within. When you live courageously, you no longer walk through life as a shadow of your potential. You begin to see yourself as capable, powerful, and worthy. Courage transforms self-doubt into self-respect. It transforms hesitation into action. And it transforms fear into freedom. The very moment you act courageously, even in the smallest way, your inner world begins to expand. You stand taller, breathe deeper, and carry a new energy that others can feel. This is why courage must begin within. You cannot inspire others if you are hiding from yourself. But when you live bravely, you create harmony between your inner truth and your outer expression. That alignment is what people feel when they say, there's something different about you. And here's the beauty: courage doesn't just change how you see yourself, it changes how life responds to you. Opportunities open, relationships deepen, and challenges shrink in the presence of a courageous heart. Because once you change your inner world, the outer world mirrors it back. Every advancement in human history, every breakthrough, every movement for justice began because one person chose courage. The wheel, electricity, civil rights, technology, art, none of these would exist if individuals hadn't dared to challenge the impossible. It's easy to believe the world is shaped only by great people, but every great person was once ordinary. Standing where you stand now at the edge of choice, they too heard the voice of doubt. They too felt fear. The difference is they acted anyway. The world does not progress by wishful thinking, it progresses by courageous doing. Every step forward in human consciousness has come from those who refused to stay silent, who refused to stay comfortable, who believed that the risk of acting was worth more than the safety of inaction. Now the torch is in your hands. The world is waiting for your courage, your voice, your vision, your action. Not someday, but today. You were not born to merely exist, you were born to contribute, and your contribution may be the missing piece the world has been waiting for. The world is not waiting for someone else, it is waiting for you. Not for your perfection, but for your courage. Every day you hesitate, the world waits a little longer. But every day you act bravely, the world moves forward. So rise, choose yourself, embrace your fear, inspire others, live courage in small acts, transform within, and then step into the larger call. Because the world will not wait forever. And there has never been a better time than now to show up in your full strength.